Thank you so much, boys. Our next guest was one of the members of the most successful female singing groups of all time, the Supremes. She tells her entire story in this book right here. Here it is right here. It's called Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme. I admire this woman not only for her music and endurance in the business, but for being able to wear some of the tightest gowns and heaviest wigs in show business history. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Mary Wilson. Nice to see you. How are you? Well, sit right here. No, have a seat, by all means. How you doing?
What is this about the tightest gowns? What was that?
Well, we got these pictures. We'll get to that in a second. Now, this thing is selling. You sold like what, 4 million books or something?
No.
How many have you sold?
No. Hardcover, 250,000.
That's a bestseller, isn't it? It's a runaway bestseller.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this because I think a lot of people didn't think it was going to do that well.
Did you ever think any time in your life that you could sit down and write a book that would, let alone sell great,
Well,
that you could even do the...
I'll tell you a great story. I was 17 years old in high school singing with the Primettes Supremes.
That was the original name of the group, right? The Primettes?
Yes, Primettes.
Primettes.
Everything was the X,
Yeah.
right? Unless you were Sherelle or Chantel. And anyway, so I'm in high school, and my teacher said, Miss Wilson, you think that you're a star, huh? And I'm looking at this guy like, oh, well, not really. He says, well, he says, I'll see what kind of star you are when I get you in my English literature class. He got me in there. He failed me. And I'm like really frightened. And then one day I wrote a report. And he read it. He says, Miss Wilson, this is fabulous.
Yeah.
He says, I think you should think about writing a book.
So you knew that you had the skills.
Well, no, I didn't. I'm wondering what is he talking about? How
Yeah.
me write a book? He says, you have a wonderful way of bringing people to life, but as real human beings, not just whatever. And so I started keeping a diary when I was 17 and have kept it ever since.
And
that's where this comes from.
And much of the diary is represented in the book?
Well,
Some.
some.
All right. Here-
Not everything.
You smell great, by the way. What do you...
I was.
Yeah. What is that you have on?
Poison.
Poison. Oh, it smells very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, here are some of these pictures we're talking about. Some of these wigs here and tight dresses. Now, are those wigs?
Those are wigs. Oh, yes.
Did you have a lot of wigs?
We had about 25 each or something like that. Yes, quite a few.
Why did you have that many wigs?
Well, I mean, it was part of our costume. You had gowns, you had wigs to match them.
And,
and the eyelashes, the whole bit.
And the tight dresses?
Yeah. Oh, I love these. These dresses weighed about 35 pounds a piece.
Now, let
They
me
were
see.
terribly heavy.
Is this you here?
That's me in the blonde wig. That was my
the
Doris
blonde
Day.
wig.
Doris Day
Oh,
days.
the Doris
Yeah.
Day days.
Well, I mean, let's face it.
I went
back
through a phase like that myself, yeah. I might be.
Well, I mean, she was cute. She was nice. She was friendly. She was what we all wanted to be, you know.
So you were 17 or younger when you started singing with the Primettes?
No, I was 13.
13. Oh my,
13.
good Lord! And then they changed to became the Supremes.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were as a kid traveling all over the country.
Yeah.
All
the
over
world.
the
The
world.
world.
Yeah.
In fact, we had one performance. It was a command performance in London, at the Palladium, and we had just moved out of the projects, but we had made all this money, but bought our moms new homes and things like that. And we do this command performance that was with the Queen Mother, Princess Margaret, Prince Charles, and the whole bit, right? So we're so thrilled.
What year would this have been? Do you remember?
65, somewhere around in there. So we're in the receiving line after the show. I'm really proud. We have on pearl dresses, beaded. I mean, just beaded from the neck to the floor. And I'm standing there really proud, like if they could see me now at home, the kids in the projects, look at me, ah ha ha. And so Princess Margaret comes up and she says, is that a wig you're wearing? So I'm looking at her like, now wait just a minute, she's supposed to be, royalty and have all this class and everything. I wouldn't have said that to anybody in public. I was so embarrassed. The next day in the newspaper, in all the newspapers, here I am looking at Princess Margaret like this. And now if I could tell you what was on my mind, but you can see it on the picture.
It's also interesting that a member of the British royal family would have a German accent. It's a small point, but it's...
No, I'll go a bit farther than that. I love accents, right? And I married this guy who has a Spanish accent, or he's actually Latin. And every time...
Who are you married to?
I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you married?
Well, I was.
Yeah. But anyway, he's Dominican. But he would always say that my accents, no matter what I spoke, it was always with a German Southern accent. No matter what.
See, I can't do accents either, but I mean, I admire your attempt there to get something.
I love it.
Now, when you were in, is that when you guys met the Beatles in 1965? About in that?
That was a little earlier than that. They were at Shea Stadium. I don't know if that was '64, late '64.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Weren't you a fan of?
Well, yeah, but I didn't live in New York City. I lived in Indianapolis. And
I lived in Detroit.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, anyway, so we met. We met the Beatles. We were doing the Ed Sullivan Show, as we did every Sunday.
You did like 15 times,
I mean, that and perhaps more. And in fact, in the 60s, we felt that we had our own television show, and that was quite a treat to be black, right, to have your own show. Anyway.
Well, that was the biggest show to be doing anyway, wasn't it? That was amazing.
Love it.
Yeah.
And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the girls, he said one time to us.
He introduced you as the girls.
And we had been on his show quite a number of times. He knew it was just one of his things. But the funniest, most hilarious thing that ever happened was we did his show and we were supposed, it's live. I mean, it was a live show, of course.
Yeah.
And everyone was very frantic. You had to be on time. So we're back there changing, and we were doing a production number, I'm not sure what it was, and then we were to change and come back out in our normal tight gowns, as you mentioned. And so the rehearsals went great, and we were right there, and he says, and here they are, the Supremes, blah, and we did it. For the live show that night, something happened with the zipper, and the commercial was over, and we were not there.
You had probably like 2 minutes to make a big change,
I mean,
if that.
Yes, if that. And so he's standing up there, you can see him not knowing what he's going to do. So he says, for this, Donna Ross is going to get fired. And we're back to trying to zip up and get out there.
Ed is going to fire Diana Ross.
Fire Diana Ross. Yes.
Take her out of the group.
This is, we would have thought. And now another time he said, and here they are, 3 colored girls from Detroit, Michigan.
Ed.
But he was wonderful.
But in his defense, I think that was a couple of years after he passed away, so you really couldn't. Well, I don't know. I can't wish you any more luck with the book. It's just tremendous.
Well, yes, I have a paperback coming out in September.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
and also, the rights have just been bought by an English publication, so I go there.
Going to be a film, too, probably, huh?
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Nice to see you, Mary. Thank you very much. Come back again. We're going to pause here. We'll be back with Jimmy